Hello and greetings again for our Advent reflections from Joy to the World this Christmas and from J. John, and we're on to day 17, and today's theme is an adult theme. It's the opposition to the birth. In a world that is frequently mean, ugly and brutal, one of the attractions of popular representations of the Nativity is the view of the Christmas season as a time of universal peace and goodwill. We may not expect niceness to endure during the year, but we live in hope that at least it will persist during the Christmas season. Sadly, experience teaches us that in reality, bad things happen at Christmas, and hostilities between nations, communities and even within families can continue amid the tinsel and the turkey. The Bible's account of Christmas is not one of universal sunlit, serene scene. With Herod's murderous attempt to eliminate the infant Jesus, the darkest shadows fall over the picture. It's really easy to portray Herod as some sort of grotesque pantomime villain, but unfortunately, he is all too authentic to be a figure of fun. Anyone surveying modern history will be aware of the existence of people who, when threatened, are perfectly capable of ordering the massacre of a score of infants and writing it off as just one of those things that you have to do. Whether for our own comfort or for that of our children, we have tended to produce a sanitised Disneyland Christmas not far removed from the local pantomime. The reality is that this is not a comfortable tale. Buried under the artificial snow and Christmas lights is the tough story of a man taking his pregnant wife miles across country to register for tax purposes with an occupying power. Once at their destination, our young couple find that there is not even a guest room for them. The story echoes with so many uncomfortable and contemporary notes: oppression, taxation, occupation, humiliation, and that's before Herod gets into his murderous tantrum. Christmas carols recognise the presence of good coming into the world, and some make the point that the good is opposed. In fact, the hostility that Herod shows against the infant Jesus is not simply an expression of hatred against God and his Son by an evil man, but something stronger and deeper. The Bible's view of the way the world works is that there is a cosmic evil of demonic powers and authorities governed by an evil one who has set himself up against God. The first Christmas was an act of war. God sent his deliverer into enemy territory, and God's intervention into that world is an irritation to the devil. At the incarnation, the cry from the devil was something along the lines of, "What the? Can't he leave us alone?" Many Christmas carols recognise this. The one that is sometimes called the Coventry Carol, "Lully, lullay, thou little tiny child," includes the chilling verse: "Herod the king in his raging chargeth he hath this day his men of might in his own sight, all young children to slay." And the carol "Unto us a child is born" includes the verse: "Herod then with fear was filled, a prince he said in jury, all little boys he killed at Bethlehem in his fury." We may feel uncomfortable with the way the word Jewry, and it brings to mind the Holocaust and genocide, then uncomfortable may be the right emotion. Evil still stalks the world. O Little Town of Bethlehem has one of the most thought-provoking phrases in the entire canon of carols. Speaking of the first Christmas night and addressing the newborn Jesus, we read, "The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight." For those that long for good, Jesus' birth is the focus of enormous hope. The Messiah has come. The deliverer is here. Finally, evil is being challenged. But for those who have sought evil, the Nativity is a terrifying focus of fear. The arrival of the Christ child says to his tyrants, thugs and despots, "Your days are numbered." It's a delightful irony that the infant, who was so homeless that he had nowhere to lay his head except in a manger, is the one whose arrival serves notice of eviction from the world to the powers of evil. The challenge posed by the Incarnation continues to the present day. Ultimately, we are all focused into one of two choices: love him or hate him. Our lives ultimately must lead to him and away from him, to heaven or to hell. There is no neutral place. Do you want to love him or get rid of him? And today's carol is Lully Lule. And thanks very much, Florence, for your fantastic rendition of Silent Night. It's appreciated. Bless you all and hope to see you all again tomorrow.